Well, here we are, Saturday morning. It is about 12 minutes to 11. And I'm back from the flea market. And do I have a treat for you? Well, some of you. Anyway, let's take a look and see. First of all, something I found in the house last night that I have a copy of the guide, the official guide to the New York World's Fair 1964-65. And if everybody remembers, I got the World's Fair sign that I sort of borrowed from the streets of New York. And everybody's seen it before. Hopefully that's worth something now. But now it'll be worth more because we have an accompanying guide. Look at how thick that damn thing is. And one of the interesting things is they're talking about, they're advertising different things, and one of them is that in '64, all the Grand Slams in tennis they were only played by amateurs. There were no professional tennis players. Ha ha. But they weren't paid anything, and they're advertising seats to the U.S. Part of the Grand Slam, starting at $1.25 and going to $6.75. You couldn't even get through the gate for less than $100 today. It's so crazy. But something else I got, and this is very interesting, and this I'm sure will end up with Jared will end up with it. But it looks a little beaten. It is beat, and it's from 1940. I don't know when it was published. 44, 45, and it's a history of, let's see, financial facts of the World War II, and it's part of the historic collection, and it's from the history of the. It says when the Nazis conquered, a financial breakdown of Greece from April 1941 through November 1944, and you're going to see that the drachma goes, and every one of these pages are just full. They're just full of this paper money of the time, and that the drachma goes from, you'll see on page 1, goes from 2 drachma, and before we know it we're up to 10,000, and before you know it we're up to 200 million. And apparently I'll just read a little part of this in the back if I can find it, because it's written also in Greek and in English. Let me see if I should have been a little more prepared, but you know me. Anyway, they went from printing so many million drachma to the point where they had printed up the equivalent of not billion or trillion or quadrillion, but quintillion. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So we'll do a quick flip through of this, and if I can find that quote again, I'll put it up. But otherwise, I'll just show you some of the interesting stuff. But that's not and then we'll get to the silver part of the show. I try to get these off as quick as possible because my computer's so crazy that sometimes I go to put the damn thing up and I'll have to try to put it up once or twice. But anyway, here we go. Financial breakdown of Greece. Yeah, well, we saw that again a couple years ago. But here you're starting out with all this paper money. And you got here we've got 1,000, and here we go up to, well, there's still 1,000 notes, and we hit the 10,000 mark, 5,000, and we hit the 10,000 mark. Then we hit the 25,000, then the 50,000, then the 100,000, then the 500,000, then the million, then the 5 Then the 5 million. I hope I'm. Let me do a quick run back on this page because I'm not looking at what you're looking at. I'm just looking at what I'm looking at, and I better make sure that you see what I'm looking at. 500,000, million, 5 million. Then they're rounding off now. 10 million, 25 million, 200 million, 500 million, 2 billion, 10 billion. Lucky you didn't have to carry them around in ones, huh? And then finally, I think this is 100 billion, but it's just absolutely astronomical. Anyway, that's that story. If I ever get good at this, I might do another one on that one, unless Jared gets a hold of it first. Now, you know I've got this Olympic sets from I got the 72 Munich a couple of weeks ago, which surprised me, and it is a very profitable set because it's worth about 5 times what I paid for it, and it has a box and everything. And then I got 3 sets of the Canadian Olympics, and then here is the 1988 Seoul Olympics. This is a complete set, but Tom didn't have the box. And each one has has the information on it. Let's see if I can zoom in on one of these. It's readable. They're sterling. Let me see. Given the weight and all. But anyway, they are in denominations of 10,000 and 5,000 won, WON. And they're all right. And here's something you'll find interesting. On this one particular one, this was like the baseball thing. You'll see there was less uncirculated, about half as many uncirculated as there were circulated, as there were proof. And on some of these, the uncirculated is almost non-existent. Yeah, like this one. Look at this one. These are uncirculated, but look, 110 proof sets and 15,000 uncirculated. I give you my thought on that. I mean, they thought they were going to sell all these proof sets, and then that some of the public would buy a coin here or there, because these coins started being produced in 1986, so they were produced in 86, 87, and 88. And I don't know if I should look and see if I could tell where they were made. It says certificate of authenticity. Geez, I'm going to have to just set it down for a second. Let me read this damn thing. Printing and Mending Corporation under authorization of the Bank of Korea to commemorate the games of the 86 Olympiad in Seoul. Let's see, Koreans legal tender minted by the Korean Security Printing and Mining Corporation. Alright, so these aren't the Philadelphia these aren't the Franklin Mint. That's nice to have something that isn't the Franklin Mint. It's sterling. But this is the additions to the collection for today. This is funny, I think, but very historic. And it gives you the whole rundown, the whole story, what's going on at the time. And then this I find very entertaining to go through and see some of the prices of some of the items that were for sale just in 1964, and how much inflation has taken a bite out of all of our wallets since then. Please leave a comment, and hope you enjoyed this. It ran a little long. Sorry about that.